Level 1. The intern. You wake up at 6 a.m. in a shared apartment 20 minutes from the metro. You iron your shirt twice because you are terrified of looking wrong. You pack a lunch you won't eat because you won't have time. You swipe your transit card and stand the whole ride in because you don't want to wrinkle your pants. You walk through the security checkpoint, and a guard who has seen 1,000 versions of you barely looks up. You clip your badge to your jacket. It is color-coded. Everyone who matters can tell at a glance that you are nobody. Your job is to answer phones, sort mail, print briefing packets, and refill the paper in the copy machine. You are a college student or a recent graduate, and you are doing this for free or close to it. You live off savings or your parents or a campus stipend. The senior staffers walk past you like furniture. If you speak without being spoken to, you have made a mistake. You learn fast, you keep your head down, you listen to everything. You are invisible, and invisibility is your only asset right now. If you are smart, you are memorizing. You're watching how people talk to each other, who defers to whom. Which names make people stand up straighter when they are mentioned? You are taking notes on a city you just moved to, and a machine you do not yet understand. You are not here to change anything. You are here to prove you can survive the building. Level 2, the staff assistant. You passed the test. You answered phones without embarrassing anyone. You showed up early every single day. Someone noticed. Now you have a salary. It is not much, but it exists. You have a desk that is yours. You have a computer login. You have a government email address, and you treat it like a weapon because it is. Your job is still largely logistical. You manage the schedule of someone above you. You book the conference rooms. You draft the first version of correspondence that someone else will sign. You are the person who makes sure the right people are in the right room at the right time. If something goes wrong, it is your fault. If everything goes right, nobody notices you. The staffers above you are polite, but they are watching. One dropped ball, one scheduling conflict, one leaked email, and your short career gets shorter. You eat at your desk. You answer messages at 11 p.m. You have canceled plans with friends and family more times than you can count. But you are in the building. You are in the room where things are being decided, and that is worth more than the salary. Level 3, the policy analyst. You are not running errands anymore. You are thinking now. You have a portfolio. Maybe it is healthcare. Maybe it is trade. Maybe it is climate or education or housing. You are the person who reads the 1,000-page report and turns it into 2 pages that a busy senior official can absorb in 4 minutes. You pull data. You talk to agency contacts. You call researchers at think tanks and universities. You draft memos that travel up the chain and come back with comments in red ink from people whose names you have memorized for years. Your work is invisible to the public, but it is the foundation everything else is built on. The talking points the press secretary reads came from somewhere. They came from you and people like you. The risk here is different than the lower levels. Nobody is watching your badge color anymore. But if your analysis is wrong, if you miss something, if your memo leads a senior official down the wrong path in a meeting with a senator, your reputation takes damage that is hard to repair. You are a specialist now. That is your protection and your limitation. You know one thing deeply. The question is whether the people above you will ever let you out of that box. Level 4, the deputy director. You manage people now. You have a small team of analysts under you, and you are responsible for their output and their morale and their mistakes. You sit in more meetings than you would like. Half of your day is coordination, making sure your team's work connects with the work of 3 other teams so that when the final product reaches the senior director, it is coherent and complete. You are a translator. The people above you speak in priorities and politics. The people below you speak in data and research. Your job is to make those two languages talk to each other. You are close enough to real decisions now that you can feel the heat. A policy you shaped ships out of this building and lands in the real world, and you watch it happen from your desk. That is the reward. The cost is that you are being stretched in four directions constantly, and the people below you need you and the people above you need you, and there are only so many hours. You have a BlackBerry or an iPhone that never goes quiet. You have learned to sleep through it sometimes, but not always. You believe in what you are doing. Most of the people at this level do. That belief is what keeps the hours from breaking you. Level 5, the director. You are running something real now. A directorate, an office, a portfolio with staff and budget and actual authority. You attend the senior staff meetings. You sit at the table, not against the wall. There is a difference, and everyone in the room knows it. When you speak, people write things down. When you have a concern, it gets flagged. You have spent years building credibility inside this building, and now you are spending it, carefully, on the issues you believe matter most. You also spend a significant portion of your time managing upward. You are learning that the further up you go, the more politics shape everything. A policy that is technically correct can be dead on arrival because of timing, because of a senator's reelection, because of something that happened in the news cycle this morning. You have to be right, and you have to be ready, and you have to be patient all at once. Your name occasionally appears in background briefings. Reporters know who you are in the vague way they know a lot of names. You do not talk to them without clearance. You have seen what happens when people do. Level 6, the senior advisor. This is where the air changes. You have the ear of someone at the top of this building, and that is a kind of currency that cannot be manufactured. You are not running a department. You are running influence. You walk into rooms where the decisions are actually being made, and your presence signals that whatever is being discussed has the attention of the people who matter most. You were brought in for a reason. Maybe you have a relationship with the president going back years. Maybe you are a subject matter expert who is trusted beyond your formal title. Either way, the formal org chart does not fully capture your power, and everyone inside this building knows it. This creates friction. Career staffers who have been here through multiple administrations quietly resent it. Other senior officials wonder what you are telling the boss about them. You are not universally liked, and you have made peace with that. Liked is not the job. Results are the job. You travel with the principal. You are in the room for calls that are not on the official schedule. You are a set of eyes and ears that the person at the top trusts in a place where trust is the rarest resource of all. Level 7, the chief of staff. You run the building. Not the country, the building. There is a difference, but it is a smaller difference than most people think. Every person in the White House, every staffer, every office, every meeting request, every piece of paper trying to reach the Oval Office goes through you first, or through a system you designed. You are the gatekeeper, the air traffic controller, the last filter before the president. You arrive before almost everyone, and you leave after almost everyone. You have a direct line to every cabinet secretary, every congressional leader, every major donor. They all know that how you feel about an idea determines whether that idea gets 5 minutes or 50 or none. The job is impossible by design. You are managing the egos of enormously powerful people. You are managing the schedule of a person who is demanded in 100 places at once. You are managing information, deciding what the president sees today and what gets held. You are managing the message and the agenda and the politics and the crises all simultaneously. You have no real peers inside this building. You have allies and you have rivals. You go home late and you wake up to your phone already lit up. Your family has learned to understand. Most of them have. Level 8, the cabinet secretary, you left the White House. Technically, but you are part of the cabinet, and the cabinet is the inner ring of the executive branch. And so you are still in the machinery, just inside a different piece of it. You run a department of thousands of people and a budget that is measured in billions. You testify before Congress. You answer for your department on national television. Your name gets used in the news cycle as a verb. They are going after the secretary of this, the secretary of that. You have a motorcade now. You have security. You have a schedule that is managed by other people who are managed by other people. You make decisions every day that affect millions of Americans who will never know your name. You answer to the president. That relationship is everything. If the president supports you, you can move mountains. If the White House loses confidence in you, you are a lame duck in your own building, waiting for a resignation letter you know is coming. Level 9, the vice president. You are a heartbeat away, and everyone reminds you of that, constantly including yourself. The job is whatever the president makes it. In some administrations, the vice president is a real governing partner. In others, the office is ceremonial, and you spend your years cutting ribbons and attending funerals of foreign heads of state. You preside over the Senate. You cast tie-breaking votes. You travel the world as a representative of the country. But your power lives and dies on one relationship. If the president trusts you and includes you and listens to you, you matter enormously. If the president keeps you at a distance, you are the second most famous person in a building, where second place means very little. You are also waiting. Everyone knows it. You are positioning carefully, always. Every speech, every interview, every vote, every foreign trip is a brick in a structure you are building toward the next thing. You cannot say that out loud. You do not have to. Everyone already knows. Level 10, the president. You won. You survived the primaries, the debates, the opposition research, the fundraising, the rallies in states where the weather was terrible and the crowds were unpredictable. You survived the campaign. Now you are here. The most powerful office in the world. The Oval Office, the Resolute Desk, the seal on the carpet, the Marine standing at the door. You asked for all of this, and here it is. You are never alone again. Not truly. There is always a doctor nearby, always an agent, always a military aide carrying a bag that contains options you pray you never have to open. Every word you speak publicly moves markets, shifts alliances, encourages allies, emboldens enemies. You receive a briefing every morning that contains information so dark and so heavy that most people would not sleep again for a week. You absorb it, and you go to your first meeting. You make decisions every day that you will not know the consequences of for years. You will be blamed for things you did not cause, and you will receive no credit for disasters you quietly prevented. The history books will argue about you before you are finished. Your friends from before are gone or changed. The people around you now love what you represent more than who you are. You have the most powerful title in the world, and you have never been more isolated in your life. There is no retirement from this in the way people imagine. You leave the office and you carry it with you forever. Every decision you made, every person you failed, every moment where you had the power to act and chose not to. You chose this. Every day you wake up at dawn and choose it again.